Do you explain that again?
So this is,
I think that might be the proposal
I think that's the proposal.
This proposes 5 women artists each.
Read it out, because I haven't got it near me.
Okay.
I can't read it.
Format, 5 selectors, exhibitors. Somebody else has put a contemporary something exhibition selected by women. I didn't put that. Anyway, it was felt that a show chosen by 5 female artists would bring to the attention of the public the quality of the work of women artists in Britain in the context of a mixed show. It is, in fact, precisely in the context of mixed shows that women artists have been overlooked. The following list may be of some help. You've got British sculpture out of the 60s, 15 men, 1 woman. The new art, 15 men, 0 women. The Royal Academy Sculpture Show, 24 men, 0 women. It's pretty obvious that women are just not being considered.
Completely true. Yep.
Yeah. Well, could I just say how it started? At some point in 1976, I went to see Michael Compton at the Tate, and we sat down. And I said, Michael, I've been here 13 years, and I've never seen an exhibition of a woman artist at the Tate.
My goodness.
And I said, well, you know, maybe Barbara Hepworth was exhibited, you know, but I wasn't around. And he said, no, we've never shown a woman artist at the Tate. And so I said, well, I want to propose a show of 5 women artists. He said the Tate will never show any women artists. Those were his words. I was a bit dumbfounded. Then he said, but I will help you. I sit on the committee, the Visual Arts Committee of the Arts Council, and I'll help you. I'll try to give me a proposal. The thing is, even when I finally put this together and chose 5 women, the women themselves did not want a woman's show. So 3 out of 5 women felt that to have a show entirely composed of women artists would be like living in a ghetto. That was the words that were used.
I remember that so very well. There was a kind of fear, and it was the fear imposed by the masculine power at the moment, that we would just be ridiculous, we would just be women. I mean, there was a rhetoric about it. And this was absolutely about social meaning in the art world, that women were excluded.
My suggestion was, at the time, was let's reverse the situation. We'll have a third men and 2/3 women.
We have a next batch to give you.
This I definitely remember. This.
It's almost like handwriting.
I mean, the Hayward didn't use, you know, external or professional exhibition designers in these years, just like it didn't use color in the catalogue, with rare exceptions.
Are these your drawings? Yeah.
No, definitely not my drawings. And indeed,
no, not mine either.
They're at a very early stage, because you have the Blackie group that isn't going to happen.
But I don't remember exactly how we distributed those. You know, why some people had very small spaces and others larger. I really don't remember. Do you?
No. I only remember that once the walls were built, everybody wanted to move the wall, you know, 2 meters one way or that way, or have the entrance at the different, you know, not in the middle of a wall, and, you know, there was lots of, it was complicated when the screens were going up.
It was very.
I have to say, I didn't have any complaints at all.
No, I thought your space
Yeah.
was very powerful. And
We all got to know each other, so it was a fantastic kind of communal bonding activity.
I mean, one of the things that I find interesting is the kind of minimal aspect. I mean, immediately look at that, you see the kind of minimal, and my work at that time was also
There's a
quite
lot
minimal.
of minimalism in the show, actually.
Oh, this was Tess's work. Funny. That was Tess's. And those are the prisms, which I made a Japanese garden.
I remember those. Yeah. The ground is sand, isn't it?
Yeah.
They didn't have to have a barrier.
No. And people put their fingers in it.
Maybe, but they didn't let their toddlers go running through the sand like they would now, you know.
So this is your room.
Yes, I had to re-look at all these works again, so they feel familiar for me. I'd completely forgotten about them. Everybody, of course, declared that they had to be done by a man. If the work is sober and intellectual, it has to be done by a man.
Whose work is this?
We'll double check so we don't get it wrong. It's Mary Kelly.
And that's Mary's word. But the funny thing was that how, in a way, how scandalous it was, which I found kind of weird. That why should it be so scandalous? But it was. Is that Susan Hiller?
Oh, yes.
That's funny. That's really funny. New freedom in art. What does that mean? Gaining new freedom in art. I mean, it was about the freedom of women to make art.
The art press certainly did more kindly with it than I think than the daily press did.
The art press took it seriously. I mean, they looked at the work in a more serious way.
It would be hard put to get as many reviews for any one venue these days.
Absolutely, you're quite right.
It did get a lot of publicity, even if the publicity was not of the kind we would have hoped for. But it was publicity, and publicity always attracts people. When they say a gaggle of women take over the Hayward, I mean, people wonder what's going on there.
It was really inspiring because there was an audience. It was a huge audience for the Hayward, and an audience which was open to change. It wasn't being led through the nose all the time by the press. It was making choices. We're living in a time now where I think women are recognizing that feminism actually only went so far, but male power's been held and maintained. So,
well, feminism became a bad word.
But the British high-profile galleries in the last 10, 20 years, there are more female directors than, South London Gallery, Serpentine, Whitechapel, Camden, Tate. I don't think you can just say it's men totally in control.
It's still a men's world.
Well, I wouldn't say it's equal, but I mean, obviously things have changed. I think there's still a necessity to look more at women's work. I think that's still important.